Hey everyone, I'm Mandy with Sugar Bee Crafts, and today we're talking applique, where you put words onto fun things. Okay, we're going to go ahead and show how to put an applique on something. This is where you can put a design or letters onto a project you're working on. We're going to do a pillowcase. So this is the binding of the pillowcase. We're going to applique onto it before we sew the pillowcase together. You can also applique onto things like bags or t-shirts or whatever project you're working on with cloth. You're going to need the fabric that you're going to cut your design out of, or your letters, the thing that you're going to put it on. So for us, the binding. Then you're going to need some heat and bond, which it comes in other brand names as well, but it's an iron-on adhesive, and it's for attaching fabric to fabric. You're going to cut it the size of your design. This is ours. One side's going to be paper and one side's going to be bumpy, and that's the glue. And you're going to transfer that glue to the fabric and then use it to heat and adhere to what you're putting it on. You're also going to need your design. I just printed this on the computer. You can tell that I experimented with what size I wanted it to be. Okay, take your heat and bond piece of paper with the smooth side up, so rough side down, smooth side up, so that you can write on it. You're going to take a writing utensil and take your design and put it under your heat and bond face down, so that you can see through it. So you can kind of see with the light behind it how you can see through and trace. If you have a light box, that might work well to be able to just trace the thing that you printed out onto your heat and bond, or you can hold it in front of a window. You'll notice that if it's words, it's going to be backwards. Okay, so I'm going to go trace that on a window. Okay, so you'll notice that I put my design on a window so that I could kind of see through it, so it was a little more transparent. And I've traced the letters that I printed out on my home computer. And you'll notice that it's backwards, and that's because we're going to adhere this to the back of the fabric that we're working with. Okay, so we don't need our template anymore, the paper, but we do need to move in the fabric. This fabric doesn't have a right side or a wrong side, so it won't matter, but most fabrics have a correct side or a front. So say this was the front, you're going to flip it over and put your design on the back. That's the reason we cut it out backwards, so that we can put the design on the back, like so. Once it's like that, you're going to iron it, and that will heat up the glue on the back of the heat and bond and make it stick to the fabric. That's what we're going to do next. Okay, you're just going to iron onto your heat and bond. You're wanting to get it to adhere to the fabric. You can kind of test it at the corner to see if you can see that as I peel the paper away, the glue layer is sticking to my fabric, so that means that I've got it nice and adhered. The next thing that you're going to do is, while the heat and bond paper is adhered to the back of your fabric, you're going to cut out this design that you traced. Now you have all of your letters cut out of your design. At this point, you can peel the heat and bond backing off of the fabric. You'll be able to tell that your fabric now has a sheen on the back, or a sticky, it's not quite sticky, it will heat up, but it's the glue base that has moved from the transfer sheet onto your fabric. We're ready to adhere it to our project. So again, we're doing a pillowcase binding. I'm going to move my letters out of the way. You can just pick wherever you'd like it to be on your project. you're going to set it onto your project with that shiny side or the glue side down. This is the reason that we cut it reverse or mirrored, was because we were working on the back side, and now we're to the front. So if you can see that, I've got it positioned where I would like it, and I'm going to take my iron and iron again. This time, when the glue is heated up, it will adhere directly to the fabric below it. So we have formed an iron-on bond between two fabrics. Oh, there's that. It's adhered. You can stop at this point, and sometimes I do, but I love to see the stitching, and so now that it's adhered to my fabric, I'm going to do a quick top stitch around the letters. Okay, so as you can see, I've added the stitching around the words to finish it off. That is an optional detail. I just like to do it. But that's all there is to applique. We are done with the project. To recap, we just took the iron-on adhesive, ironed it to the back of the orange fabric where we had already traced, cut out along our trace lines, peeled off the backing, and ironed it to the black fabric to adhere it. And that's all there is to putting together an applique. I love doing appliques because they give you a chance to personalize the project that you're working on. And it just gives it that fun handmade touch. This project that I'm working on is going to be a pillowcase, and you'll for sure want to check out that video about the pillowcase because I have a secret to sewing it together super quickly, the 5-minute pillowcase. So be sure to check out the rest of the project that we're working on today, and thank you for stopping by Sugar Bee Crafts.